Hey everyone, this is Kieran from MSK Physio, and today's couple of exercises is looking at some side planks, particularly ones that focus on the outside of our hip, so not the Copenhagen's, which is the inside, but the outside of the hip, the abductors. We're going to get other things working as well, so your shoulders or your abdominals. So if any of these regions have been injured for you before, then you might find this exercise useful. With a side plank, we have to consider that it's not all just going to be the hip muscles. I'm pretty sure it's some of McGill's research looked and found that this is also going to be one of the exercises where you get some of the highest activation for, I think, your internal abdominal oblique. So we have to consider that if you can't do this, there might be a limitation somewhere else and it may not be your hip. And so maybe you need to do a more isolated exercise and see then if you can progress into this later. So if you think it might be the hip, then look at one of our regressions and sideline. If you think it's maybe the abdomen, you might look at some of our lower back based exercises or torso based exercises where we look at things like dead bugs and dead bug rolls and see if you can build up to this. That being said as well, if you've had a shoulder injury, you might need to work on some shoulder stability stuff. So maybe some planks, tall planks, or even just laying on your back and holding a weight overhead like in our arm bars, which again, we have videos for that you can search. So all that stuff aside, we can do a short lever or a long lever. Short lever is going to be a little bit easier. Long lever is going to be a progression for us. So what a short lever looks like is on your knee. So if I start like this and my pocket is on the ground, I'm then going to try and lift my pocket away from the ground. So that's one way to think about it. Another way to think about it would be I'm trying to lift this pocket up to the sky. I'm really trying to touch the sky with this pocket. What that does is it makes me drive this knee down into the ground to lift me up. I'm also pushing the earth away through my elbow. So I'm not sinking down into my shoulder like this. I'm pushing away. Okay? As far as variations go, you can start in a flexed hip position like this, so that when you lift and you come forward, and you'll get through some different glute med fibers, as well as some of the other muscles back there. What that would look like from this angle is I'm starting in a flexed position, and then I open up and go forward. At the moment though, I think it's good just to start somewhere in the middle, get used to being in this straight position. A lot of people will start this exercise off though in a flexed back position. So by that, I mean they're curled over like this. Try to extend your back before you go up. Now you don't have to be in max extension, but see if you can get just into sort of a little bit of extension, because that's going to be coupled a bit more with the leg being in sort of neutral frontal plane. If we go into our long lever progression, then it's pretty much the same thing. I'm just going through my feet now instead of the side, through my knee. Now there's a lot more weight involved here, so it's going to be more effort. So you can lift up and hold. Same idea applies though. I'm trying to lift up to the sky. I'm making sure my back stays a little bit extended. That way I'm just getting things into the areas I want to get them into. If I was flexed, I'm going to be using a lot more abdominals and front of the hip muscles. So I'm holding and I'm holding. It's nice to just alternate between sides, and then you get your rest period side to side. Things you can do is you could go up and down for a set time. You could go up and lift and hold for a set time. It really depends on your goals. I think both have uses. Once these are easy though, then you're going to want to move into sort of standing progressions or kneeling progressions. But again, if you have limitations with balance, then you might need to work on things that are getting in the way of the balance. For example, if you go to a standing progression and you've had an old ankle injury that you haven't addressed, there might be some mobility issues there or strength issues, and that's going to compromise your balance. And then you don't get the hip workout because the ankle is a limiting factor. So just some things to think about, but really nice progression for building up some stability and strength through the hip, as well as the torso, and then also including the shoulders. So you could use this exercise to rehab all three of those areas. If you've got any questions on it, let us know in the comments. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.